Hey, my name is Bo, and today I'm going to be reviewing the top 3 microphones for content creators, and I'm going to tell you which one I recommend you get based on your unique situation and budget. The first thing I'm going to do is just a sound test. So I'm going to let you hear each microphone so you can judge for yourself which one you think sounds the best. And then after the sound test, I'm going to give you a brief overview of each microphone, explain the pros and cons of each and which one I think you should get, depending on your situation. So right now you're listening to microphone number 1. This is what you've been hearing from the beginning of this video. And now you're hearing microphone number 2. Now this microphone is about 4 times the price of microphone number 1. And you might be able to tell, if you have good headphones on, you might be able to tell that the sound is much more clear. It might not sound better in your subjective opinion, but it tends to have much more clarity in the audio. You can hear more of the details of the sound. And this is one of the reasons why this microphone is much more expensive. When I first got this microphone, I wasn't exactly pleased because it was 4 times the cost, and yet I thought it didn't sound as good as microphone number 1. But what I realized is that this microphone is really designed for a different purpose. It's designed to pick up all of those little details in the human voice. It's designed to pick up the whole range of frequencies in the human voice, and it's not necessarily designed to sound the best to the human ear, although you can do some post-processing to this microphone, to this audio, and make it sound a lot better. So this is microphone number 2. Some people prefer this sound compared to this sound. This is microphone number 1 again. So this is microphone number 1. And now this is microphone number 2. So can you tell the difference? Microphone number 1 tends to sound a little less clear, but a little more bassy, and some people enjoy that deeper sound a little more. And now microphone number 2, this one should accentuate the details of my voice, and you should be able to hear more. It depends if you have good headphones on though, so depending on how you're listening, if you're just listening on your phone or some speakers, you might not be able to pick up the details as much. But if you have some decent pair of headphones on, then you should be able to kind of distinguish the details between these. Now this is microphone number 3, and you can see it in the shot right here. This is the Shure SM7B. Couldn't really hide this one from you because I have to pull it very close to me in order to get good sound from this microphone. This is what's called a dynamic microphone. This is one of the most popular microphones out there for podcasters because it has that deep, bassy, rich sound that you're accustomed to hearing from a lot of big name podcasters. Now, what you might notice compared to microphone number 3, you might notice that microphone number 1 and microphone number 2 sound a little more distant compared to microphone number 3. So you might not enjoy the sound of 1 and 2 as much compared to microphone 3 because I'm able to get this one so close to me, or because I have to get this one so close to me. The sound is going to be better. You can bring these other microphones 1 and 2 closer to you, but they're generally not made for that purpose. So microphone number 1, what you're listening to right now, is the Rode Videomic NTG. This is the most inexpensive of these 3 microphones. It is about $250, I think. And this microphone is really versatile. This is one of the mics I would recommend for most people, especially beginning content creators. If you have a smaller budget, I think this is the best mic for most people. And it sounds amazing. Some people even prefer the sound of this over the more expensive microphones. It sounds great, and it's very versatile because this microphone does not require an XLR input, unlike the other 2 mics I'm using. Mic number 2 and mic number 3 both require XLR inputs and a lot more power to power the microphone. So they're not as portable. You can't plug them directly into your camera, although you can. There are ways to do it. It's not as convenient. Unlike the Rode Videomic NTG, which you can plug directly into your camera's microphone input. As long as your camera has one of those, an audio input, you can plug it right in with the provided cable. So it doesn't require power because it has built-in power. The Videomic NTG has a built-in battery that you can charge via USB-C, and it lasts about 30 hours of recording, which is plenty. And because it's a self-powered microphone, you can plug it right into your camera and get the signal right into your camera, and it syncs with your video footage automatically. So it's much more convenient. You don't have to record audio separately and then sync it with your video. It can go right into your camera and sync with your video automatically. The next mic, which you're listening to now, this is microphone number 2. This is the Sennheiser MKH416. This is used in Hollywood. It's used in a lot of movies. A lot of content creators on YouTube, a lot of the big names use this. I know MKBHD, if you've ever seen him on YouTube, he uses this mic. A lot of famous YouTubers use this mic. And the great thing about this mic is it's very good at picking up your voice from further away, and it can be out of the shot. So no one will see this microphone, but it will almost sound as if a mic is right next to your mouth, even though it's out of the frame and an arm's length or two away from you. So that is microphone number 2. Microphone number 3, which you're hearing now, is the Shure SM7B. So you can decide which one you think sounds best. Honestly, they all sound amazing, so this isn't really a competition for which one sounds the best. It really just depends on the situation. Every mic sounds a little bit differently because it's used differently. Depends on how close it is to your mouth. If it's further away, it's obviously not going to sound as good. Even the best mic in the world isn't going to sound great if it's too far away. So these mics are used for different purposes generally. If you're someone who has a more permanent setup, like you have a studio or a place in your house where you record all your content, like you just record all your content in the same exact place every time, then you can use something like the Shure SM7B because it's more suited for a permanent setup. It's not something you're generally gonna, take traveling with you. It's not something you're gonna be vlogging with, right? It just stays on my desk. It stays mounted on my desk, connected to my Rodecaster audio interface, and I don't generally take it anywhere. So it's stationary. This isn't something that I'm going to be using to record around the house, like different rooms in my house or outside. None of that. It's going to stay in my office. So that's one thing to consider if you're getting the Shure SM7B. It's not a real portable microphone, and it's not really made for that. It's made for something permanent, like a podcasting studio or something like that. The Sennheiser MKH416, what you're listening to now, this is semi-portable. It's really not a lot different than the Shure SM7B, but it can be connected to like a Zoom H4n audio recorder and plugged in via the XLR cable, and it can be attached to a boom pole, and you could kind of like move that around your house if you needed to. But it's not like a whole lot more portable than the Shure SM7B. So if you're gonna be like vlogging or recording in different rooms of your house, and you need to move your setup a lot, you need to move your camera or your microphone to different areas or different locations, then I would recommend this mic, the Videomic NTG. So really, the Videomic NTG wins here in a lot of cases because it can be used in place of basically all of these mics. It can be used for almost any situation, and it's super portable, and there's no XLR cables you need, no audio interfaces you need. It plugs right into your camera and still gives you great audio quality. So I would say for like 90% of people, just get the Videomic NTG. It's cheaper than all of these mics. The Shure SM7B, I forgot to mention, is about $400 US. So the Videomic NTG is $250, this is $400, and the Sennheiser is $1,000. So for most people, the Videomic NTG is going to be the winner. It's the most versatile, it's the most portable, it's the easiest to use if you're not an audio nerd like me and you don't want to do post-processing on the audio and and tweak it or sync it with the video. If you don't want to do any of that, just get the Videomic NTG and call it a day. This mic will serve you for years to come. There's really not a lot of cons to this microphone. I can't really think of any. Unlike the Shure SM7B and the Sennheiser MKH416, those are both amazing mics, and I love the sound quality I can get out of both of them, but they're just not as portable. They're not as convenient to use. They generally just stay in my office, and it's nice to be able to use them when I'm in my office. Generally, those are the ones I'm going to choose when I'm in my office. When I'm in my more permanent setup, I'm going to choose either the Shure SM7B or the Sennheiser for those situations. But if I'm anywhere else besides my office, even if I want to go to my living room to record a video, generally I'm going to use the Rode Videomic NTG for that, just because it's so much more portable. If I'm going to be outside vlogging, I'm going to attach the Videomic NTG to my camera, plug it in, and just go. I mean, it's just so easy. It's so convenient. If you're going to be podcasting, I would recommend the Shure SM7B because you can get the richest sound out of a microphone like this. If you're going to be just recording maybe YouTube videos from a studio, then the Sennheiser MKH416 is very good because you can put that on a boom pole and move it around your studio to like different sections of your studio. It's a little more portable than the Shure SM7B. It can be out of the frame, which is nice in certain situations where you don't want a microphone in the shot. I've used and researched a lot of different microphones because I'm like an audio nerd like that. And these are the top 3 in my opinion when it comes to ease of use, sound quality, and price. I have all 3 of these mics because they're all great and they can be used for different things. So if you have the budget, I would say just get all 3 of them and use them for different purposes. If you're on a budget, get the Videomic NTG. If you could only get one of these 3, get the Videomic NTG, honestly. If you can only get 2 of these mics, 2 out of the 3, I would say get the Videomic NTG and get the Shure SM7B, because this is great for podcasting or a permanent setup, and the Videomic NTG is great for on the go. And the Videomic NTG is very similar to the Sennheiser MKH416 anyway. It can be used in a very similar way, like on a boom pole. So if you can only get 2 of the 3, just get those 2, because that's going to give you the most flexibility overall. So either the Videomic NTG, if you can only get 1, the Videomic NTG and the Shure SM7B, if you can only get 2, or if you want all 3, go for it. So that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you soon.